What up, it's Casper. Today's video, I'm talking about the movie The Cable Guy. So the movie The Cable Guy is a 1996 movie. It's rated PG-13 and it's an hour and 36 minutes. Directed by Ben Stiller. Starred by Jim Carrey, Matthew Broderick, Leslie Mann, and Jack Black. So how I felt about the movie, I know a lot of people can have mixed reviews about this movie and performance. For me, I feel like Jim Carrey made a movie that's basically nothing into something. Character Jim Carrey plays, I feel like not a lot of people could relate to his jokes or his mannerisms like that. I feel like sometimes Jim Carrey's acting, a lot of people could feel that it's a little overboard or a little too much. For me, I feel like the character and persona and mannerisms of what Jim Carrey does fits very well. There's not a lot of actors that could do what Jim Carrey does. I feel like the more movies you end up watching with Jim Carrey, you can understand that he's just a goofy dude and he's just enjoying his time on the movie set. Jim Carrey plays the cable guy, basically just wants a friend. He ended up interacting and crossing paths with Steven, who's played by Matthew Broderick. So I think the whole performance by Jim Carrey in general was on point. The camera direction for making Jim Carrey this cable guy person was well done. Ben Stiller being the director, he put himself here and there in the movie, add more texture to this film. The feel for this movie is just like a vibe that a lot of people can't do, especially during this time. It's one of those, like, I already knew it was gonna be hilarious with the mannerisms, the facial expressions, just so goofy. Jim Carrey, for me, throughout this movie, has this character really on lock. There's nowhere in this movie where I feel like there's a little falling off from being this character. He has a lot of emotions and a lot of personalities with this psychopath dude, this stalker dude. So he does a good job throughout this whole movie. It's not just bland. One of the scenes that I liked in here where when he was playing basketball, I thought that was funny. I thought the interaction with everybody on the court was well done. Obviously, the camera angles and the editing in there is gonna be to make everything look funny, and I still thought it was very good. Jim Carrey is just hilarious. Like, who shows up to play basketball and what he shows up.
Hey! You guys play here too?
Weird.
I was just out and about. Thought I'd see if anybody wanted to play some round ball.
Pretty funny. Lines were hilarious. Great job with the line presentation. There's a lot of events in this movie. Another one at medieval times. I thought that was pretty funny. There's just a lot of moments in this movie that you're just following this adventure with the cable guy stalking Steven. You need to watch more movies from him because he has way more classics. Jim Carrey, on point performance, hilarious, goofy, cheesy, but it all fits. Steven is played by Matthew Broderick. Good presentation character. He does have that look like, oh dude, you're just being a sucker. Times in this movie, I'm like, bro, you're being whipped by this girl. Like, you're reading a book and then you're imagining these characters, and when you see the movie, you'll be like, this is perfect look. Moments in this movie that really get to you as a viewer. He's being very gullible. He's a lost dude, even though he plays a designer in this movie, so he's in the corporate world. But even him being in the corporate world, he doesn't know how to handle a girl. Very awkward at times, and it's funny because he's picking up lines from Jim Carrey's character, the cable guy. Steven was a funny character, gave me that whole 90s feel, even with his whole clothes design. He did a really good job on playing a character that still had love for an ex-girlfriend or an ex-fiance. Funny how this movie just puts him in more situations where you're like trying to reject the cable guy the whole movie. Funny how there's just moments where just Jim Carrey is just literally on a snap right there at the doorbell. I really like that camera angle. They both complement each other very well. You can tell one dude is very goofy and the other dude is a sucker, like a lover boy. So you can tell that. All about the mannerisms with these actors as well. I think the lines and the script was pretty good. A lot of people can be like, this is just an ordinary thing. With Steven, I did enjoy his character. He's trying to be on his job, the next designer. The whole feel that he's annoyed and trying to reject the cable guy. Good acting. Crazy to see Jack Black because this is 1996, so he is younger. The feel of him being friends with Steven was pretty funny because there is friends out there that be like, bro, you really gonna dump our plans for this girl? Good line presentation, and the characters were just perfect. So really good flow if you're in tune with these actors, and I was. Jack Black, dope. Robin Harris is played by Leslie Mann. This girl just wants attention. She's already on a date after literally kicking out Steven out of the crib. She wants attention, and she did have that look of being that girl. They chose the right girl for Robin Harris. Leslie Mann did a good job on presenting that. Her look did fit. None of these characters in here was stale. So I'm just glad that even with the little love story story. And even with Jim Carrey trying to help Steven at times, you know, this movie wasn't stale. The director, Ben Stiller, he's in this movie, so it's pretty funny that he's like playing twins. That just shows that you're having a great time. You're showing up to work to do this goofy movie. You're waking up in the morning knowing that these actors could pull off the vision. The runtime of it being an hour and 36, on point. The editing made the movie more funny. This movie is a classic and it does have that classic feel. I do recommend this movie, so if you ever get a chance to watch it. At the end of it, just another performance that I feel Jim Carrey is owning the whole script, owning the whole movie. The other actors in this movie complement the movie very well. Straightforward, a cable guy thinks he meets a new homie by setting up the cable. With the smallest phrases like, "Thank you, bro, I really appreciate you being here," the cable guy thinks that you're now his best friend. Story, very hilarious. After my watching The Cable Guy out of 10, I'm gonna have to give the movie an 8 out of 10. That's my movie review for the movie The Cable Guy. Shout out to you guys for tuning into the video. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.